Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into the incredible journey of marketing strategy, how it went from these slow, careful plans of the past to the super smart, automated systems that are shaping our future. So, an international bank wanted to run a pretty simple email test. Sounds easy enough, right? Well, this little quote from a McKinsey report tells you exactly how long it took them just to get that one test out the door. You heard that right. 8 full weeks. In a world where you've got maybe 3 seconds to grab someone's attention online, that kind of pace, well, it's a fast track to becoming irrelevant. So how on earth did we get from that to where we are today? Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. We're going to start in the old world with what we'll call the strategic blueprint. Then we'll see how that all came crashing down in a crisis of speed. After that, we'll look at how the agile revolution came to the rescue, and finally, we'll jump into the really exciting stuff, the AI Copilot and what it all means for the future. For like decades, marketing strategy was all about planning. Long-term, very deliberate planning. It was this super meticulous process, and it all boiled down to a deep analysis of what they called the 3 Cs: the company, the customer, and the competitor. What's really cool when you look at this timeline is how the thinking got more and more complex. It started with simple planning in the 50s, then it got way more serious with thinkers like Michael Porter in the 60s. By the mid-90s, the focus was all internal. It was all about a company's unique strengths being the key to winning. But through it all, the main idea was always the same: find that one perfect spot in the market and defend it. The whole process, which could literally take months, was all about answering 3 big questions. Where are we right now? Where do we want to go? And how are we going to get there? The goal was to create this perfect, static blueprint that you could follow for years. But what happens when the world stops holding still for you? And that's exactly what started to happen. That whole perfect blueprint idea began to totally crack under the pressure of the digital age. This wasn't just a little problem. It became a full-blown crisis of speed. This right here became the central problem for marketers. And does this sound familiar at all? Your team has this amazing idea, but between all the approvals, the dependencies, the endless meetings, everything just slows down to a crawl. That's the friction the old model created. So you've got this system that was built for a stable, predictable world, and it's just smashing up against the fast, chaotic reality of the internet. It was a system that was perfectly designed for a world that just didn't exist anymore. This crisis of speed, this need to move faster, it forced marketers to start looking for answers in some pretty unexpected places. And they found one: in the world of software development. It was a whole new playbook called Agile. Okay, so instead of building one giant, perfect battleship that takes years to finish, Agile is all about launching a whole fleet of small, fast speedboats. You send them out, you see what works, you learn from what doesn't, and you're constantly changing course in real time. It's a total mindset shift from just planning to actually doing. And this slide just lays it all out so perfectly. You're moving away from these long, rigid projects with teams that never talk to each other to these rapid sprints that are powered by small, collaborative teams who are actually allowed to make their own decisions based on data. This is the engine that makes agile marketing work. You take a small group of amazing people, a marketer, an analyst, a designer, a writer. You put them in a room together, and you basically free them from their normal day jobs. Their only mission: get great campaigns and ideas out to customers in weeks, not months. And the results, well, they're pretty staggering. According to McKinsey, companies that really go all in on Agile see massive improvements. They're cutting their time to market from months down to less than 2 weeks, and they're seeing revenue go up by as much as 20 to 40%. Incredible. So Agile made marketers faster and way more responsive. But what if you could take all that speed and then layer on an almost unimaginable level of intelligence? Well, that's the next big leap. We are now entering the age of the AI Copilot. And look, this isn't just about using AI to write a few lines of ad copy. We're talking about a completely new way of thinking that the experts are calling agentic marketing, where the AI itself actually becomes an agent that takes action for you. Let's break that down, because it's a big idea. These AI systems aren't just tools anymore. They're becoming co-pilots. So think of an AI suggesting the top 5 marketing angles for your new product. That's a co-pilot. Now imagine it also creates the campaigns, runs them, and moves the budget around in real time based on what's working best. That's an autonomous agent.
We can really see these AI agents working in three different ways. First, you've got agents for marketers. That's the internal AI helping you create things and analyze data. Second, you've got agents for customers. Think of the smart chatbots we're all getting used to. But this third one, this one's the real mind bender. Agents of customers. Imagine your personal AI assistant shopping for you, negotiating the best price on a flight without you lifting a finger. That changes the entire game.
So, what does this whole AI-powered world actually look like when the rubber hits the road? To really get it, it helps to use a simple framework to look at the entire customer journey. We're going to use a popular one called RACE. The RACE framework is super simple. It just breaks the customer lifecycle into these key stages: how you reach new people, how you get them to act, how you convert them into customers, and finally, how you engage them to build real loyalty. AI is now a huge force in every single one of these stages. Okay, so in those early stages, reach and act, AI is completely changing how we find things. Instead of you typing into a search bar, you'll just ask your personal AI for a recommendation. Instead of just watching a video, you'll buy the product right from a link inside it. We're talking about a world of hyper-personalization, and even these amazing AR experiences where you can see how a couch looks in your living room before you ever buy it. Now for convert and engage. This is where things get really smart. Imagine an AI that can predict which version of a web page is most likely to convince you, specifically, to click buy. Or an AI that notices you haven't used an app in a while, predicts you're about to cancel your subscription, and automatically sends you a personalized offer to get you to stay. This is proactive, predictive marketing. So when you step back and look at the whole journey, it's just incredible. We've gone from these static blueprints carved in stone to these fast, agile sprints, and now we're here, arriving in an era where marketing strategy isn't even a plan anymore. It's a living, learning, intelligent system. And that leaves us with one last question, and this one is for you. As you think about your own business, your own team, which era are you in? Are you still building the blueprint? Have you learned how to sprint? Or are you ready to start building the algorithm? Thanks for joining this explainer.